So good morning. My name is Andrew MacDowell. I'm the Senior Vice President with DecisivEdge. We're an IT services and consulting firm. I'm here today to present the topic for right now. Traditional lending comes of age, how new models, new customers are changing the industry. What we're going to do is just, I'll briefly introduce the topic, talk a little bit about what's happening. We'll introduce our panelists. We have several guest panelists today and talk about questions, and maybe we'll have time for some audience questions afterwards. The other thing I'll tell you is I'm Canadian, which means one of two things. Either this is going to be the nicest presentation you've heard all week, or I'll end up apologizing for it afterwards. Cue the laughter. Thank you. So let me introduce the topic. Essentially, if you heard Ron Suber's presentation yesterday, he did a great job of sort of leading into what we're going to be talking about today. The credit challenge of the onset of technology and changes in the lending marketplace. So effectively, if you think about credit, it's becoming pervasive. It's a pervasive option for customers that now have a larger amount of options across the marketplace. With the proliferation of online marketplaces comes new and growing consumer options. So as a result, consumer behavior is changing. So people now are having the ability to research their purchases, prices for their purchases, all on the internet, and they have a plethora of options to do it with. They can do a general day-to-day shopping online, as you see here. They can go and find better deals and better prices and negotiable opportunities, discounted ways of looking at things. They can select and book travel and vacations online. They can go and buy things, sell things. There's all kinds of things you wouldn't want to see on the internet. You can see it all out there. And you can fill your fridges and your freezers with all sorts of things as well, all without having to leave the house. This is one of the ones that I wish my wife would do less. You can buy luxury items online. You can go look for high-end clothing and jewelry. Every couple of weeks something shows up at our front door from Lululemon. I wish I could send it back. But it's the ease of getting to it, right? Lifestyle shopping. So you can go and buy a bed or price out couches, artwork, anything that you might want for your house or need in your home. And finally, from an entertainment perspective, you can get phones, TVs, movies, just about anything that you want from that perspective. So if you look at this example, really this is the top couple of examples in each of those categories. But at the end of the day, if you look at this globally, there are really just endless options for consumers online. So what does that mean? Well, essentially, it means that if lenders want to continue to grow their business incrementally, the only way to do it is to find their customers where? Online. So if we take that and put that aside for a moment and then think about the next piece of this, which is what has the intenting technology changed and how has that changed behaviors of customers? There's a few examples I'll give. So the first one is automotive. So hands up if you are not from New York and you had to travel in from outside of town. So almost everybody. Keep your hand up if you took some sort of ride-sharing program to get here from the airport. Less people, but still almost everybody. So if you think about that, that has been an incremental increase just over the last several years. And in addition to that, if you think about the really imminent reality of driverless cars that's going to come in, what does that do to the industry? From a traditional automotive asset purchase, what does that do? If you look at it from a hospitality perspective, the current prevalence of these short-term stay options, Airbnb, VRBO, should we expect a reduction in the traditional travel spend at hotels? People purchasing vacation homes. From that assets perspective, what should we expect to see? And then finally, when we think about sort of the immeasurable change that's taken place in communications, mobile devices have really completely replaced any other option. Does anybody still have a landline phone? Anybody? Okay, you're embarrassed to say it, aren't you? Okay. When's the last time you actually saw a payphone? No one can remember, right? They're virtually a thing of the past now. So, look, if you think about it, you've got your cellular device today, which virtually everyone has. You can not only use it for communications, but that device itself effectively is the ability to research and make purchases. And if you think about the buying and purchasing marketplace, competitive shopping happens anywhere at any time. So the point of all this really is for lenders to think about what do they do next. And in doing so, it's important to consider a few things. So first, what do these things do to credit in general? Should we expect to see more business to consumer lending or less? Should we expect more business to business lending or less? Does it require a shift in the typical type of consumers that lenders market to? Or should we expect to see a decrease in general marketplace lending? Second thing to think about is consumers, and again, people have been talking about this in various sessions this week. Customers want a unique, individualized shopping experience. They want whoever it is they're buying from to know who they are, know a little bit about them, so it makes their shopping experience easier. And it's proven if they do that, if you're able to do that, you're likely to have that customer for a longer period of time. And then finally, companies traditionally relied on financial institution operating loans or equity markets to get funds to help grow their business. Now there's receivable-based loans, fintech companies making it a lot easier for people, which really comes back to the point, if you're a traditional lender, how do you stay relevant? How do you stay relevant to your customers and continue a reasonable amount of growth in the marketplace?